C++ is one of the most popular programming languages today. It uses the OOPS concepts, OOPS meaning object oriented programming. You can write programs in C++ without the use of OOPS also, but using OOPS they come out more structured and well organized. So it's better to use the OOPS concepts while writing programs. Knowledge of OOPS is very important to get a good understanding of programming because all companies today use OOPS. We can use OOPS to represent real life situations. OOPS are always asked in job interviews, in internship interviews, and also in college exams. Definitions are very important here. There are some important definitions which are asked in all job interviews, internship interviews, and college exams. You need to do them very thoroughly. You can be asked definitions and examples both, so you need to learn both. I will guide you about this in this video. OOPS concepts are used in all companies these days. So, employers are looking for people with knowledge of OOPS. Okay, so let's start our journey of OOPS now. What is OOPS? It's a style of writing programs. There are two main styles of writing a program. They are POP and OOPS. POP, which stands for Procedure Oriented Programming, is the way we normally write a program in C, Fortran, etc. It is procedure oriented, which means that we focus on the procedure or method of writing the programs. We don't focus on the data. So this is procedure oriented programming or POP. The data here can be used and its value can be changed in many functions of the program at many places. As a result, data security can be a problem. To take care of this problem of data security, we make use of the OOPS or Object Oriented Programming concept. To understand this, we first need to define and explain two terms, that is object and class. Object is any entity in the real world. It can be anything around us. It can be phone, pen, table, laptop, anything. We use objects in C++ to represent real life situations. For example, if we want to store the data of a group of students in a school, a student will be an object. Student can have many physical properties like name, age, roll number, section, marks, etc. These are also called attributes. Apart from these properties, there can be some methods associated with a student. For example, a student section may need to be updated or changed. So in this way, there can be some methods which are associated with a student. Now, if we want to store the properties of many students, we will have to write separate code for each student. This will make our code unnecessarily long and tedious. Like supposing we want to store the properties of student 1, so we have to write a code for that, and then properties of student 2, another code for that. So we have to write number of codes, a code for each student, which makes our program too long and complicated. So the oops concept comes in here. The second thing we need to understand is class. A class is a blueprint which is used to create objects having similar properties. It is not something physical, it is conceptual, so it doesn't take up any memory. Objects, on the other hand, take up memory because they are physical things. So we create a class called student. Student will have a name, a class in which he studies, a roll number, maybe a section, and can have some marks which he might have obtained. So here we define the class student. Apart from properties or attributes, there can be some methods associated with a student. For example, student section may need to be updated or changed. These functions are called member functions. We can define this function as void set function having argument string new section. We write it as section equal to new section. This is our function. This is the member function of the class. So here we define the class student as a name which is a string, class which is a string. Class here is a reserved word actually, so we use it with one single S. We don't use the double S because with double S it becomes a keyword. A roll number which is an integer, a section which is a string again, and marks which are integer. So these are the properties or attributes. After that we define the methods or member function which is void. That's the function. Here the class ends. After declaring this class, we can put the data for this class. We can input the data for